Thank you very much for having me at KAUTM Annual Conference 2023. I am so honored to be here. My name is Eri Hoshi, co-founder of KOSEI LLC, as well as associate professor at the University of Yamanashi, based in Japan. Today, I'm going to introduce Japan's tech transfer commercialization market. Let me start by introducing myself. I hold many titles. My main job is running my own company called KOSEI LLC, which stands for Knowledge Transfer of Sports Entrepreneurship and Innovation. We provide consultant services for universities to set up international research collaboration, mainly with the US universities, and matchmaking for technologies from US to Japan, and operate entrepreneurship program collaborating with the University of New Mexico to issue certificate of entrepreneurship. Since I have 12 years of experience working at the University of New Mexico Tech Transfer Office in the United States, I often give a lecture about how to operate the tech transfer office of the US system and help designing Japanese tech transfer office. I'm also an associate professor with the University of Yamanashi to give a lecture for PhD students about entrepreneurship mindset to help supporting to create their own company. I'd like to introduce you about Japanese version of KAUTM, which is called UNIT, University Network for Innovation and Tech Transfer, which is a membership-driven organization among university research institutes, tech transfer offices, and supporters. I'm a committee member for UNIT to create the training and career program for tech transfer professionals. Every year, we have annual conference in September. We have about 600 members to join the conference. UNIT is also promoting all the members to become RTTP professionals, as Arvin mentioned earlier. According to the Statistic Bureau of Japan, total expenditures on R&D during fiscal year 2020 is about $200 billion US. Expenditures on R&D as a percentage of GDP was 3.59%. Most of the R&D funding are funded by industries and performed by industries in Japan. Now let's look at academic statistics. Total academic research expenditures for science and technology is about $25 billion US in fiscal year 2020. $930 million US are used for a joint research project with industries. Sponsored research projects are about 28,000 cases in 2020. Almost $2 billion US are coming from industries for universities. Here is the tech transfer office structure in Japan. Among 788 universities, 80% are private universities, mainly liberal arts college. There are 4 types of TTOs in Japan. Type 1 is the inside of the Office of Research, which are 88 departments. Type 2 is a single TLO. We have 4 corporations, such as University of Tokyo TLO. We have another type, which is 3, is the TLO covered several university partners. We have 6 institutions like that. Type 4 is the National Research Institutions, which has its own tech transfer office. Okay. Let me tell you about commercialization trend in Japan, comparing with US stats. This graph shows the breakdown for licensees of both licensing and assignment agreements of universities and TLOs to industry sectors. The ratio of licensing and assigning rights to large corporations was 47%, and the other half goes to small, medium-sized enterprises. Only 3.2% goes to startups, in the US, only 23% of the licensees are large corporations, whereas 77% of licensees are startups and SMEs. Gross license income received by all the Japanese universities are about 45 million US dollars. The sum of running royalties is about 16 million US dollars in 2020. About the creation of startups based on the research outcomes from universities, total of 93 startups are formed in 2020, and 35% of the institutions are supporting startup system. In the USA, there are more than 1,000 companies are formed each year, but as you can see, there are huge needs in Japan to create more licensing tech-based startups. I like to touch based on the new national policy of Japan. The Japanese Prime Minister Kishida announced in 2022 as the first year of startup creation. In Japan, statements by the prime ministers are very influential. Ministries and agencies will be working accordingly. Due to the long economic recession of Japan, Japanese government would like to improve the following 6 policies: university improvement system, strengths development of innovation human resources, promotion of regional core and unique universities, establishment of a startup ecosystem, and promotion of the open innovation. In order to secure funding for science and technology research, which is declining every year, the Japanese government has launched a 10 trillion yen fund and is beginning to invest this money in the financial markets. The government intends to allocate the profits from this investment to the research budget. 10 trillion yen is about 70 billion US dollars. This shows the number of university-related startups, non-licensed and also licensed include, that received venture capital funding. In 2022, 306 startups raised funds successfully, and almost 900 million US dollars are total amount of the money received funding for university-related startups. So startups and fundings are getting better and better in Japan. I like to conclude with my affiliated University of Yamanashi. The student body is about 5,000 students, including PhDs. Faculty's numbers are 768 people. The total research budget is about 110 million US dollars. University of Yamanashi is very famous of wine science. Since we're living Japanese version of the Napa Valley in the US, we have lots of wineries. Dr. Satoshi Omura received the Nobel Prize. He is from Yamanashi, so we have a memorial museum. Our strong research core is in clean energy and fuel cell nanomaterials. We only have a couple of startups so far based on the university research outcome, but we will improve our tech transfer system to help launching more university research license-based startups. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I'm looking forward to discussing with you later.